So welcome to our world whereby we give very weird stories every day. And the thing with us here, you see, right now is actually about 1:50 a.m. Yeah, and this time actually everybody around my place where people are asleep. Yeah, that is the reason as to why I normally say that we at least need to improve on that. Yeah, we actually need to work on that, so that you see there are countries whereby people are actually awake right now. Yeah, even if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, people are awake doing various things. Yeah, we can also catch up with the rest of the world, right? So I hope you and yours are doing great. Welcome. My name is Ino Mark 29, or you can call me Ino, and I'll accept. Yeah, so we normally tell bizarre stories. This is our time, so kindly sit, relax, so that I tell you what has happened or what is happening from across the globe or from across the world. Yeah, so without wasting time, we go one-on-one to actually today I also have a few is Antarctica's ring of fire. It says the first solar eclipse of 2026 occurred today, but it was essentially a private show for wildlife. This annular solar eclipse was visible only for penguins than people. So this solar eclipse of 2026 was more like a penguin thing than it was for people. Yeah, the penguins actually enjoyed more than we, the people. That happened at the Antarctica and the Southern Indian Ocean. Yeah, you see, the Indian Ocean actually, I believe, touches Kenya, some of it. Yeah, at the coast, that is. It also touches how do you call it? Really appreciate. So that is the first bizarre story, which is saying Antarctica's ring of fire. The first solar eclipse of 2026 occurred today, but that was actually yesterday, not today. Today is on Wednesday, so that was yesterday on Tuesday. So Antarctica's ring of fire, the first solar eclipse of 2026 occurred on Tuesday this week, but it was essentially a private show for wildlife. This annular solar eclipse was visible only from remote Antarctica and the southern Indian Ocean, leading scientists to joke that it was witnessed by more penguins than people. So penguins actually enjoyed this solar eclipse of 2026 more than people. Like, it was only more visible to them than it was visible to us people. I can say somebody known as Kandra Modesit, you're saying no, I'm not. Yeah, and then James Muredi is saying hi to James. Hello. Yeah, James Muredi, hi. Yes, I've seen your text. Thank you for the hi. I appreciate that. So if you are watching this, kindly support us by subscribing, and we will really appreciate. So that was our first bizarre story. Moving on to the second bizarre story. GPS leads to splashdown. That is the title. And then it says, in Britain, an Amazon delivery driver made headlines after following their GPS blindly into a body of water, becoming the latest victim of death by satellite. So this happened in Amazon in Britain, whereby a driver actually was following a GPS. Yeah, so most drivers actually. So this driver here decided, like, I'll follow the GPS, and maybe they're saying he followed it blindly. Yeah, there are times that maybe you can find yourself like you are following something, and then you got to a certain point of certain place, then James Mredhi asking, how are you? I'm good, James. I hope you're doing great as well. So that day I was filming, and then I got to a point where so he just followed the GPS blindly, and then he ended up dead. That is why they are saying death by satellite. So it's very unfortunate actually. Yeah. So we should be very careful. Yeah. So that you are in work and there are jobs that they require you to be like to follow orders or instructions. It's very okay. Yeah, it's really very okay to follow orders while at work, but at times you have to be like, are these orders going to risk my life? You see, this person, he has lost his life while he was at work. Yeah, he was following the GPS, and then unfortunately it led him to a body of water. So this guy is normal, and that you are there, and he or she will immediately hire somebody to take your place. But your family here, once they lose you, that is the right job for you. But if no, you can go ahead. So that was our second bizarre story, which was saying GPS leads to a splashdown. And then it says, in Britain, an Amazon delivery driver made headlines after following their GPS blindly into a body of water, becoming the latest victim of death by satellite. And then moving on to the third bizarre story or weird story. Kindly support us by subscribing, and we will be very grateful. Yeah, I can see there are about 8 people watching. So if we get those 8 subscriptions, we will be very, very grateful. So moving on to the third bizarre story, the armpit milk mystery. Now listen to this. Gave birth. Yeah, so this lady here was pregnant, obviously, for 9 months, and then she delivered, like we do, women. And then now on the process, maybe after now the baby is here, so the baby needs to take milk to suckle. So they found out, sorry for that, they found out that this baby, I mean the lady, has an extra breast under the armpit. Excuse me. So that breast under the armpit is actually producing milk. Yeah, so you can imagine that, like, there's a breast under the armpit, and that breast actually produces milk. So I do not really think whether this mother will actually breastfeed the child using the breast that is under the armpit. She'll obviously use the front ones and maybe avoid this one, but at the same time this one will also, like, it will produce milk. So the question is, you see, people sweat. It's normal for people to sweat. So what I'm asking myself is, maybe the breast that is under the armpit, if you sweat and then you are maybe breastfeeding your child, they'll be like, they'll be it will taste salty, like. So maybe she'll not feed the child using the breast that is under the armpit, and maybe she'll choose to do the front ones, the two. But I really have no idea how she'll do it. But about this lady from Philippines, she is also like, how am I going to go through this? How am I going to survive? Or how will it happen? So, and remember, it's also like it's close to impossible for doctors maybe to maybe cut the, maybe whatever takes the milk to the breasts. It might the armpit milk mystery. And then medical journals today highlighted a rare case in Philippines where a woman's armpits began leaking milk. Doctors found she was born with extra breast tissue in her underarms that activated after she gave birth. Yeah. So this is a lady. She has a kid, and then she has 3 breasts, but one is under the armpit. Yeah, that was that bizarre story, a weird story. Moving on, the rat Golgappa hygiene alarm. A mixture in India prompting thousands of horrified users to. So friend, I apologize for that. I'll repeat that weird story. A rat Golgappa hygiene alarm, or the rat Golgappa hygiene alarm. A viral video today sparked a massive hygiene alarm. A viral video today sparked a massive food safety debate after, or maybe a series, and then you'd see a rat jumping out of the food, street food. So what will be your response? A rat jumping out of food. A rat jumping out of food. I personally wouldn't eat that food, though. Actually, there is no, if maybe the food was hot, there is no way a rat can go into something that is burning, that is hot. It's not healthy to take anything that is cold. So this rat here, obviously it's a deep fake, because a rat cannot go into something that is very hot, and food has to be hot for it to be eaten. Our food is supposed to be hot. So this rat here cannot go into something hot, which makes me believe it was actually a deep fake, because no way. Yeah, although at times it might happen, because if the food was cold, the rat might go into it. Yeah, but if the food was hot, nah, I do not believe that a rat can. Video today sparked a massive food safety debate after it allegedly showed a rat jumping out of a street food mixture in India, prompting thousands of horrified users to hope it was just a convincing AI deepfake. Story, excuse me. Bill dodging armpit hair. Yeah, Bill dodging armpit hair. An Australian restaurant released CCTV footage of a man who allegedly placed his own armpit hair into his meal in a desperate attempt to get his bill comped. So this guy here in Australia, in an Australian restaurant, this guy went to a restaurant, he ordered food, and then put it inside food, the food that he was eating, and then he began complaining, "Hey, come here, why have you given me food in that food?" But he is the same person who's complaining like the food has air, armpit air. So unfortunately for him, or fortunately for the owner of this restaurant, he had CCTV. So he went to his CCTV, and then he began maybe going through the footage, and they realized that this guy here actually pulled that very pathetic. Yeah, how can you do that? Like, you pull hair from your armpit, then you put it in the food that you are eating, and then you begin complaining like, "You've served me food that has air in it." That is bad manners. Yeah, so this is somebody's husband, or somebody's boyfriend, or somebody's father dodging armpit hair. An Australian restaurant released CCTV footage of a man who allegedly placed his own armpit hair into his meal in a desperate attempt to get his meal comped. Yeah, like, you only want your bill to be like comped, which is like you're not going to pay because there's air in your food. and then that hair, it was you actually who placed it there. Wow. So this is where we've got to as human beings. That is really sad. It's actually traumatizing. Yeah, I cannot imagine a human being doing that, unless maybe this guy is actually not mentally okay. Yeah. No. Yes. Investigators believe the family concealed the death to continue collecting the elderly individual's pension payments. Now this is also a very horrible family. Like, their loved one has died, and then they've decided, like, we will keep the body in the house. We're not going to reveal it to anybody. So we'll keep the body, and then we'll continue receiving or collecting individuals' pension payments. How horrible can we be as human beings? Yeah. Your loved one is dead. You're supposed to bury, to give him or her, actually her, a good send-off. Yeah. And then you're here hiding her body for actually years to continue getting pension payments. How weird can we be? How weird can we get? Just for money, like anything for money. Can't people just go out and maybe look for jobs or create jobs, and then you get the money, instead of using somebody who's dead to make money? I remember finally this person is actually going to, they've managed to keep the body for years, but finally a day will come when maybe they'll be, actually a day as the government pension, or okay, it's the person's money that maybe that was cut while she was working. But why can't people actually go out and work? You see, you wake up, you go, how do you call it, bills, you pay bills, because maybe there's no way we can get around it without putting in the effort, waking up very early, working day, maybe from day to day or daily, but using the dead to at least make money is really not human. It's not human. Nobody's body is supposed to go through this. If you are dead, you're supposed to be given a good send-off. Like the Muslims normally, they do not, they put in a coffin, they buy a good coffin, put good clothes on you, and then they bury you. So that is how it's supposed to be. Like, you're not supposed to hide somebody's body and then continue receiving their pension, and you'll go to jail for that. Maybe to you it might sound like it's a very small thing, but when your day comes, it will no longer be a small thing. So let us go out, let us work, let us learn how to maybe make money, make our own money, not depend on somebody else. Actually, this person is dead, but you're still depending on this person to get money, to maybe pay your bills or buy your food. That is another, or an Irish court is struggling to find a psychiatric bed for a man charged with 24 counts of criminal damage on the doors of various businesses and cars. So it's actually obvious this person is not okay mentally, and this hospital here is struggling. Actually, not an hospital, a court is struggling to find a psychiatric bed for this man. instead of this, maybe where you'll get help, because there is no, from my understanding, there is no way you can like judge. So friend, it's around 2:19 a.m. Yeah, so we've been here for the past, today we were a bit late, but we will finish this, I believe, on time. So that was the 7th bizarre story. Moving on to the 8th bizarre story. The Guardian Deity Defense. The Guardian Deity Defense. In Japan, a 36-year-old man admitted to murdering his probation officer today, but claimed he was acting on orders from his probation officer. And then he said something was in his head. Something was troubling him. So that is the reason as to why, the reason as to why he killed his probation officer. So this guy here had already committed a crime, and he was under probation. Yeah. So the people who are defending him are saying, actually, his defense, that is, they're saying this man here had a voice in his head. Okay, we continue to our 9th. So we are almost actually done. They are only 11 weird stories of bizarre stories. High-speed stolen blimp. There is a question there. High-speed stolen blimp, and then it says, well, not a theft, a bizarre pursuit in New South Wales ended with 3 teens in custody after they had led police on a 150 kilometers per hour chase in a stolen SUV. This occurred on the same day a local news crew took a high-profile ride in the Goodyear blimp, leading to a flurry of confused social media reports about aerial escapes. So that happened in South Wales. I'll repeat that. High-speed stolen blimp, a question over there. Well, not a theft, a bizarre pursuit in New South Wales ended with 3 teens in custody after they led police on a 150 kilometers per hour chase in an SUV, to a flurry of confused social media reports about aerial escapes. So that was our 9th bizarre story, a weird story. The second last, the truck says the python. The truck says the python. And then it says, a massive African python described by a pathologist is said preceded by an eerie silence in the local wildlife. So this python, actually, it was as thick as a truck tire. Yeah, in northern Mozambique. So you can imagine how big it was. Yeah, massive. Like nothing like that has ever been discovered or seen in here in Africa. So this was the first time. Python. Everybody fears pythons, actually, including I. Not only pythons, but I fear like okay, I'm admitting this on camera for the first time, but I've never admitted that to anybody about that. So most people actually fear snakes. So if you fear a snake that is maybe very tiny, very small, just imagine if you come across a python. Wow. So that was our 10th bizarre story. Moving on to the 11th bizarre story, the Olympic tank top skier. Yeah. Then it says Olympic fans are buzzing over Finnish slopestyler Kura Koivisto who ditched his key suite to compete in a tank top, while teammate Elias Lujanen survived a horror crash that left spectators in shock. So this person here decided, like, I'm not going to run, what do you call it, in my suit. I'll compete in a tank top. Wow. Sports like skiing and snowboarding built to keep the wearer warm and dry in cold, snowy conditions. So friend, that was our last weird or bizarre story. And then, so we close that chapter on that side. Now we come into what is happening or what has happened here in our country, Kenya. Yeah. So today there were actually 5 things that were trending the most. I'll give you 1 to 5. Number 1 to 5. The first one was Ruto in 2027. So the president of Kenya was actually trending today. And what was they're saying, people online, we call them netizens. They were saying Sifuna, the former Orange Democratic Movement Secretary General, SG of ODM, former that is, they're saying that he has done a few rallies across the country and then is really pulling massive crowds, and the government is really tensing. Yeah, the government is panicking. I'm not saying from my own point of view, but I'm saying what is in the internet. Yeah, they're saying that the government is panicking about Sifuna. So Sifuna is making the government to panic. Yeah. And then, yeah, that was actually trending. It was related to Ruto in 2027. And then there is a Gen Z known as Kasmuel Makore, who's saying, Kasmuel Makore is saying, the Gen Z, for me, I'm not actually a Gen Z, so I'm not a part of that. They're saying all Gen Zs in the country, in Kenya, they are supporting President Ruto's bid for 2027 re-election. Like all the Gen Zs have decided, like, have agreed that we will support the Kenyan President, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, come 2027. So that is what has come from Kasmuel Makore, who's saying he is the leader of the Gen Z. Now, if we have a Gen Z who's still awake, but I highly doubt. At almost 3, it's 2:30 in the AM. I do not really think there is a Gen Z that is awake, so that he can tell us or highlight to us and tell us maybe if it's true they are supporting the president. Like, to let you know. Yeah. And then we have the CS. His name is Opiyo Wandayi. He's saying that he will vie for the Siaya gubernatorial seat, and then he will support the president come 2027. Actually, the next general elections in Kenya will be held come next year, which is 2027 around. Is it August? When is it? I do not really. It's been long since I went into, like, I took interest even covering politics. Even when I was still working as a journalist professionally, I remember I had to, because it was my work, but I really hated doing stories related to politics. I do not really like politics at all. It has never been in my blood. So I do not want to lie to here on camera that I like politics, or maybe someday I'm planning or maybe dreaming of becoming a politician. Nah, Never. Yeah, never. So the CS for Energy saying that come next year, 2027, is going to vie for gubernatorial seat of Siaya County, and he will do that while supporting President Ruto's bid for the 2027 presidential seat, like rerun. Yeah. So, and also there is a certain another MP known as Peter Kaluma. Peter Kaluma is saying President William Ruto, excuse me, and is going to get 70% votes, like from the overall votes, is going to get 70%. Yeah? So that is according to Peter Kaluma. He's an MP. I've really is going to get 70% votes in the general election that is coming 2027. So, and then that was our first trending story in Kenya for today. And then we have Mike Sonko. Mike Sonko was actually trending in number 2. And then why was he trending? I actually tried to maybe dig in and find out why was Mike Sonko. Mike Sonko is a politician. He was an MP for I believe 2 terms, and then he became a senator, and then he became a governor of Nairobi. So Mike Sonko here has installed solar and water in most of them water, and then because there is electricity is really becoming an issue here in the country, they, instead of relying fully on the electricity, so now they have water and they have energy, even though it's from the solar panels. Energy is energy, as long as maybe you use it to for lights, you use it for maybe cooking. There are people who normally use the energy to cook, or maybe you use it to iron, watch TV, and very many things. Like for example, here in my village, we've gone without electricity for a week plus. We've not been really having electricity, and it has been really a big challenge. You can imagine you are living like your grandparents, the way they used to live. Like, you go to bed early, even though personally I've not been going to bed early. Like, I have to at least go live, talk to you, interact, and then maybe I sleep. Like right now it's around 2:36 a.m. and I'm still here, still with you. So I cannot sleep before we finish this. So, and there's a party. I do not really think or believe this is actually the latest, but National Economic Development Party, NEDP, mosque ahead of Ramadan. I have no idea when Ramadan will begin, but I believe it's this month. Maybe I'm not really sure. I do not want to lie here. I'll say it when I know when it will happen. And then there is Argaza and ruins. That was also trending. But the pictures that I found today were not actually pictures from 2026. They were pictures from 2024 and backward. So they were really focusing on, there was a part that was like trying to compare the 2020 2023 Gaza and 2026 Gaza, and what I saw was ruins, yeah, about Gaza. So what I do not really know is what is happening there, or what happened there. I do not really know. And then in 2026 it was ruins. But when I went deeper digging, I found out that the pictures that were put in 2026 were actually from 2024. Yeah, I never found even from 2025. So there was also some caption like ceasefire never happened in Gaza, Epstein files. Also, this one here, I happen to know. Excuse me. It's actually bedtime, but I'm trying not to sleep because I have to like do this live stream. What I was saying is Epstein, I believe this is a person who used to do like, can I say illegal things? Yeah. In a few months or maybe years, I do not really know, he killed himself in the cell, Epstein. And then I saw Trump Epstein files. So I do not really have any connection about that. You can come in and tell us more about this. I do not really know anything about that. So moving on to the fifth. There were actually 5 bizarre stories. No, not bizarre stories. Sorry for that. Trending. Yeah, I picked 5 things that were trending in my country or in Kenya today, and the last one, the fifth one, not the last, but the fifth. Remember, I only picked 5. Is saying a season, holiness. It was the title, and then it's saying a season for repentance, grace, and true conversion of heart. So it was speaking about holiness this month. It's the second month. The people around you. So it was also, the heading was holiness, a season for it. If maybe you've been having grudges with your neighbor, quarreling with your family, maybe very, very many bad things, this is the month that you need to repent, ask forgiveness from God, and you'll be forgiven. Yeah, holiness. This is the month that you're supposed to repent everything that you've been doing. The people that you've been wronging, go to them, ask them for forgiveness. Yeah. If you ask somebody to forgive you for maybe a crime or maybe the wrong that you did to them, and they do not forgive you, you will actually have done your part. You'll have done your part, like you've asked for forgiveness. But do not be the person whereby you come to me, actually you wrong me, and then after you wrong me, you come ask for forgiveness, I forgive you, we finish, you go away. And then next time again you come, you wrong me, and then you come asking for forgiveness, I forgive you, you go away. And then again you repeat. Now that will be like, it will be like you're playing with my mind. Yeah, that is actually playing with somebody. That is not asking for forgiveness, because once you ask for forgiveness, you're not supposed to repeat the same mistake. If you wronged me and then you've come approached me and told me, Mark, I'm really sorry, I did A, B, C, D, kindly forgive me, I forgive you, you walk away. And then again you repeat the same, I'll send you to God and tell you, now go to God and ask him for forgiveness, because I forgave you, last time, again you're repeating it today. So that is like you're playing with my mind, which is very, very unfair, not okay. So this month, friend, if you've sinned or you've wronged a brother, or yeah, and when somebody comes asking for forgiveness, kindly be ready to forgive them, because the Bible, and I also believe that the Bible and the Quran both say that we should forgive one another. We shouldn't judge one another. We should forgive one another. Once you forgive somebody, also make sure that you forget about what happened. Do not forgive me, and then whenever I do, maybe I do a small as the slightest mistake, you remind me, do you remember you did A, B, C, D? I thought you forgave me. Why are you bringing back what I did maybe a month ago? So if you forgive somebody, make sure you forget what he or she did. That is what we call forgiving. But if you forgive and then a slightest mistake, you are reminding me what I did, that is not forgiveness. That is, how do we call that? I cannot even find a name for that. So that is not forgiveness. Forgiveness is you forgive and then you forget completely, no going back. Yeah, that is what we call forgiveness. So those were the stories that I prepared for today, and I hope you've listened, you've at least captured something, or maybe you've learned something. And I believe that if maybe you never had that spirit or that willingness to at least help a brother or help a sister, if you have something small, share with your brother, share with your neighbor, at least so that they can also experience what you experience. Do not really be like, it's too small. Yeah, if God has blessed you with a lot, kindly make sure you at least spread or give those without. Do not really be selfish. Give those who do not have, and God will always reward you. Like you'll always get it back. It will come back to you. You give it out and then it will find its way back. But if you have and then you do not want to share, and maybe a time will come when you'll not have it. Like you'll no longer have it. So where will you get it from? And then maybe the person that you refused to help has it, you do not have it. So how will you even face this person and tell him or her, like, kindly, I need help. Help me with this, help me with that. And this same person came to you when you had, and then told you, kindly, I have this and this and this problem. Can you come in and help? And then you said, no, I cannot help you. You see, in Swahili we say, mpanda ngazi hushuka. Like somebody who was like climbed to the top, a time will come when you'll come down. Oh no, they say when you go up, remember those you left down here. Do not forget them. When you go up, remember those you left down here. Who will, like, when you're down, there are people who will come into your life and then want to help you. Them themselves, like, they are not down as you are. They are somewhere, maybe at the middle or maybe at the top. So these people, when maybe you approach them, they tell you, oh, I've heard your story, I've heard what you're going through, I'll help you. And then these people begin supporting you. Yeah, maybe they might be supporting you, believing that we will just support him, but deep down we know this person will not actually succeed, he will not move. So they support you because maybe they hope that you'll get to somewhere and then give up, and when you give up, you're thrown out. So these people come in, they support you, they give you every support that you need from day one and then to a certain period. So when, like, they are not happy what you're doing, you see, and then they get to somewhere, they were wearing a sheep coat, yet they were wolves. So they make you like a friend. So like you tell them secrets, maybe some things about you, spreading even rumors about something that maybe you never did, or maybe something you told them and they went and added something on top of it. In Swahili we call it kuongeza chumvi. So they ongeza chumvi. Yeah. After they ongeza chumvi, maybe they enjoy or they feel good about it. Somebody you trusted or believed in, and you told them your secrets, and maybe they pretended like they were helping you, and not to share too much. Yeah, share what is needed to be shared, and then the rest, it's good actually to keep secrets. Like everybody has a secret, so do not really feel like you want to share your secrets with somebody. It's good to have secrets. You can even go to your grave with your secrets. Many people go to their graves with secrets. Yeah, I know that because I've seen men die. After they've died, a lady shows up with a kid, with a child, claiming this child belongs to or belonged to Enomark. So friend, I apologize for that. So friend, I apologize for that. Tonight we've really been having such disturbances, but maybe it's because we streamed like very late in the night, but here we are. We cannot complain. We are grateful. We are alive. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, what I was saying is we should be, you should be very, very careful what you say to people. Yeah. Don't just trust anybody. I was saying there are people who die and they die with their secrets. So during the funeral, the family, somebody shows up, a lady with a child, and says this child actually belonged to this person who was passed on. And then maybe the family of the man decides like, no, this is not our child. And then the lady insists, let's carry out a DNA test and then verify if it's true or not. So they do the DNA and then they find out that this person here had a wife somewhere and he never told anybody. So it was his secret which he never shared. The wife maybe has lived with the wife for maybe 20 or more, 30 plus years, and then the wife never knew. So do not really be afraid of having secrets. It's good to have secrets. It's very, very good. So, and also do not really feel like you have to tell people everything. Yeah, so that is me, Enomark. Friend, kindly also support me by subscribing to our channel, and we will really, really appreciate. Also, we have a certain number there. If you want to maybe support us in some other way, we have a certain number there on our channel whereby you can do it. Yeah, and maybe very soon we'll create something that maybe if you are outside the country and maybe you want to support us, we'll create an account whereby you'll maybe support us in a way that you can. Yeah, we really cannot say no to support. If maybe somebody is out there and you want to support us, who are we to say no? Yeah, you can help a brother and we will be grateful, and God will reward you. God will increase your rewards. Yeah, sure thing. So it's around 2:58. It's actually 2 minutes to 3 a.m. So today I'm not really going to be here the whole night. I believe the time that we've had has been enough. Yeah, from telling weird or bizarre stories to trending, the things that were trending today. I believe that you've learned maybe a thing or two from that, and we will be meeting today night or tomorrow night. It depends. It depends on where you are. Maybe if you are where I am right now in Kenya, we will meet tomorrow. If maybe you're outside Kenya, we will meet I do not know what time it is over there, but we normally do this on a daily basis, so we learn. Yeah, that is how things go nowadays. So thank you very much. Thank you for the support. We really appreciate. If it were not for you, then we couldn't maybe have gotten this far. Yeah, so you are very important to us, and I believe it's going to be a very amazing journey. The journey that we've begun. I remember I began this channel actually in 2024, and then I got to somewhere. Things got really tough. I took a break for around 7 months, which is a very long time. Yeah, if I never took that break, maybe by now we could have been somewhere. But I took a break. But we normally say that it's God's plan. Yeah, so God planned like you are going to take a break, and then I took a break. So it wasn't actually my plan to take the break. So it was God's plan. So I took the break, and then after 7 months, here I am back. So this time around, there's no break. We'll be here. So have a lovely night or good day. We will meet in our next stream. It's a bye for now.